Hello everybody, welcome back to my Minecraft Let's Play, and as I promised we're going to be doing a little bit of building today. Everything's ready, I've been farming up some resources, but there's a couple of things that I want to show you first. First is... no wait, there's only one thing. One thing, but it's a pretty big thing. And I need to remember how to get there. Should be down this hole. Yes, this is the cave where we died last episode. No, it won't be happening again. So, yeah. Off camera I've been gathering lots of wood, lots of leaves, lots of iron. We have more than a stack of iron now, so I'm hoping I won't need to cave for a fair while. I haven't done any branch mining yet, but I'm gonna go and do that probably after this episode and see if I can find some diamonds, and I'm going the wrong way. But the big thing that I found down here was this. You probably just saw what it is. It's a dungeon, but it is a skeleton dungeon. And that means all our bone meal and wood problems and wheat problems are solved, because we can just turn this into a grinder. It doesn't even have to be an experienced grinder, but it probably will be. I like piston crushers. But we can turn that into a grinder and be set with bone meal and arrows for life. I didn't realise I hadn't taken these. I'll take this back up with us. So yeah, that's going to be in probably an episode or two, because first I want to sort our food situation, because it's still not great. I've killed a couple of cows, but you know, I want something a bit more substantial. So, what we are going to do today is build ourselves a cow pen. And you may be thinking, that's going to take 5 seconds or so, you know, just throw up a fence. No, that's not how I do things. Things have to be form over function. And I'd rather something looked good than worked, you know, at its maximum efficiency. So, I know where I'm going to build it. I've built a little template design already. I've built it once on creative because I'm using a design that I've used before because I think it looked really nice, but I'll just try and talk. It's really hard to try and say why something looks good, because inevitably it always boils down to I think it looks good. You might agree with me or not, but I'll try and, you know, share some of the techniques that I've used for building. The first one, you probably heard a lot of, work in odds all the time. So we have one block here, and then there's always going to be a gap of 7. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at counting and talking at the same time, I found out. So yeah, and try and keep things proportionate. So that's 7 blocks of fence there. I know this isn't, you know, pretty mathsy or formulaic, but we're going to put 7 blocks in here as well. I think that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just because for the vast majority of builds, unless, you know, you've been playing Minecraft for a fair while or you've got an eye for design or that sort of thing, you're going to be wanting symmetry most of the time, or, you know, at least balance. And the easiest way to do that is to have things either mirrored, which you can only do with odd numbers, or I can't really define another way of putting it. Just stick to mirroring if you want something to look balanced and even. I probably should have laid all these out before. There is an easier way where I can just count how many I've used, but when I keep placing them the wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, and how many? No, we need another one after this. So yeah, already my explanations have gone down the drain, but that's probably number 1 piece of advice: odd numbers if you're starting building. I'm just going to bring this around. We're not going to have... this is going to go against what I just said about mirroring, but we're going to have the front a little bit more square. We're going to go for a gap of 5 in between. Get rid of the torches, we can worry about lighting after. And do the same on this side. There. And now this is going to be the basic framework for our pen. What we're going to do from here is we're going to kind of build upwards, if that makes sense. We're going to add 5 blocks onto each of these so that they're 6 blocks tall, reason for which you will see in a second. That should be even. Yes, it is, because I was on 3 before. And that's a tip, if you are sort of new to Minecraft, one of the easiest ways to keep track of how many blocks you place is just count the ones in your inventory. So I've started at 38 here, so when I hit 33 I will know that it's time to stop, and that way you don't have to worry about counting as you go along. You do have to worry, however, about slowly killing yourself through fall damage. So we won't be letting that happen. Now, my builds at the moment are going to take a lot of wood, and that's fine because wood is such a common resource, And I think that's what a lot of people sort of forget when they start survival. They think too big, they think let's build in, you know, a load of stone blocks or, you know, that sort of thing, when you don't really have access to these. But things like wood, anything that's built from wood, so fences and all that, leaves, obviously, dirt, probably not recommended to build in, but, you know, use what you've got access to. 64, yeah, sorry, can't do maths again. Right, we're just going to expand on the fences a little bit. It is pretty wood intensive, but it's worth it. But what we're going to do is basically on every side, if I could learn how to place blocks again. Every side we are going to have alternating between 2 high and 3 high and give it the spiked effect, which we were going to build on in a second. So I'm going to do that all the way around, and then I will come back to you once I've done that. Okay, and we're back, and it's starting to get dark, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem because I lit up most of the surrounding area. As you can see, I filled in the fence post. It used up a lot more fence posts than I thought it would, to be honest. I ended up having to make some more, so we've got enough for the next part. But anyway, that's all simple enough to do. Say gaps of 7, filled in with fence posts like that. The next thing that we're going to do is link all these with a string of leaves in between each one. The reason I love using leaves in my builds, especially, you know, at the start of the world, because they contrast really well with the brown. You've got a mixture of colours here. You've got dark brown of the logs, you've got your light brown of the wood, which are pretty similar colours, you know. So they look okay together. And then you've got the green, which not only goes with the grass, but is really different and stands out really well, but works with, at the same time, with the logs. I've got to apologise, I feel I'm not explaining this too well, but this wasn't supposed to be a tutorial. This is me sort of voicing what I do when I build, what I think. So we're just going to fill in these leaves here. Once we've done the corners, it shouldn't take too long. They're the only tricky bits. The other advantage of leaves being, of course, that they're really, really easy to gather. You need 2 pieces of iron, and then you've got basically 4 or 5 stacks. And then that's it. You can use them for anything, good for scaffolding, etc, etc. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. So what I'm going to do is, every time we get to one of these logs, we're going to fill in around it. You see, it's probably easiest if I just show you. So that every log has got that point completely surrounded by leaves on both sides. We're going to do the inside as well in a second, but it's just quicker if you do all of one and all of the other. I've got to warn you as well, I'm not the most efficient builders. Like, I could be using something different than logs where the leaves aren't going to show it, but I don't for consistency's sake, because I know it's going to be there. And I know that sounds stupid, I know it's ridiculous, but it's what I do. So we've got that area now, and what we're going to do after that, we're going to hope that we have enough leaves for a start, but we are going to hop up on top, and everywhere that we've put those leaves, we are going to put a fence block. And I've missed a spot there. Just noticed that, that's annoying. Oh no, I've fallen down. I really do hope we have enough leaves. I thought I'd gathered more than enough for this project, but as I've never done it on survival, I guess we should just jump up here. Pretend you didn't see all that. As I've never done it on survival, I really underestimated how many we were going to need. Oh, I didn't do any of the insides, did I? Oops. Okay, I'm... How many arrows? No. My sword's getting close to breaking. Okay, we have to hope that this is enough to kill a creeper. Really don't want him to explode here. Ooh, that was close. Broke just on the last edge. But this is only stone, so... Not too much of a problem using that. Let's hope that the rest of the area is lit up a bit better than I originally thought. So yeah, keep on filling these in. Maybe I should have cut this, but as I say, first time doing it in survival, so I will learn from my mistakes here. And I suppose as we go on and we make new stuff, I will know when to cut in the future. Oh wow, hunger's dropped down a lot quicker than I thought as well. So basically, me and building in survival is me underestimating everything that I have to do. Not enough materials, not enough food, not enough anything. We're not going to have enough fences here. So actually, I think I will cut here. I will finish off the fences, and after that, what I'm going to do is another layer of leaves like we've done here. But you've already seen one layer, so I won't show that. So I will see you guys in a minute. Okay, that's done now, and I realised something before as well. I didn't have my game sounds running through my headphones, so we've had no game sound for the first half of the Let's Play. I'm sorry if you guys noticed, I'm sorry I didn't. But anyway, we're going to go back to building straight away now. As you can see, I've finished putting the fences and the leaves in, and I brought this down by 3 and replaced that with leaves, so we've got a nice entrance into the thing now. We're going to add a second floor to it now, and we're going to start this off by pillaring up 6 again. So I think that was, yeah, that's 6. And basically we are going to lay all these oak slabs around the top, with the exception of here where we're going to put stairs. So we are going to absolutely coat the top of this in oak slabs, and it's going to be too thick, leaning inwards. Now, normally I would do this with spruce wood, because, not spruce wood, I'd have spruce wood as a contrast, but because there's no snow biomes in the immediate area, at least none that I've seen, we are going to have to just leave it as oak wood for now. I think that's one of the things that I'm going to have to get used to on survival. On creative you have every material available to you. Here, not so much. You're going to have to work with what you've got at hand. As I said before, you know, you've got to work with what you've got. You can't make materials come out of thin air, and I think that's one of the really frustrating things with Minecraft these days, especially with stuff like cows. If you start a new world and you've got no cows, for example, no enchanting, which slows you right down if you want to, you know, do big builds and stuff. You've got to wait until you can find those cows. You know, you might have the same problem with lemons? Wow, speaking dyslexia, melons. And that means that, you know, you can't make splash potions of healing if you're trying to make grinders or stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully, you know, there's not too much. I know basically what we've got. We've got extreme hills over there. We've got a swamp over there. We've got a forest over there, and I've not checked over there. So there might be one close by. If not, we'll just stick another portal up, and we can go and explore, you know, a couple of thousand blocks away. Now, again, running out of oak slabs, but we've got plenty of wood, so I also need to make a set of ladders. I had a crafting bench, didn't I? Oh, how are we going up? Oh, I'm going to need at least another set, so turn all that into ladders, and turn all this into more oak slabs. Now, another thing about this world is it seems to rain a lot. I mean, it was raining when I left you guys in the first episode. It rained for about 3 days solid after that, just non-stop, and it seems to have done the same again. I don't know how long this is going to take, but you know, I remember that we need game sounds, and then it gives me this. But oh well. So yeah, we're just going to fill in this area a little bit now, so we get a sort of overview of the inside of the cow pen. And around the edges we are going to put upside down stairs with fences on top, so you sort of get a layered effect. And that reminds me of 2 things now. The first thing, carrying on from what I just said, is layers. You know, the big problem that a lot of builders have is that they leave their builds flat. They'll have just flat walls and, you know, flat roofs or whatever. And this is why I love things like fence posts and iron bars, etc. they add depth without you having to, you know, make your walls 2-3 blocks thick. I mean, that's another great way of adding depth, making your walls 2-3 blocks thick using different materials. But stairs, fences, iron bars, all of them are just really easy ways to add depth to your builds, and that's why you'll see in a lot of builds that I do use stuff like stairs and fences. Fences in particular are a favourite of mine. The other thing that I forgot to mention before is you might have noticed that you can't see through my leaves. That is because I am at the moment using fast graphics, and it's for that reason. I mean, if you look at them now, they're quite green, they're quite vibrant. Put graphics onto fancy and they become really sparse, see-through, don't look good at all. Same with the trees. So even though I can run it on fancy graphics, I choose not to. For that reason, I think leaves are the only thing that's really affected by fancy graphics. I could be wrong here, but yeah. What I've forgotten to do as well, which I should have done, is to leave the logs exposed there, because around the logs we are going to put staircases. One's the right way around this time. Again, just so it gives that sort of pillaring effect. And I'll show you an example of it now, and then I'll go and do all the upside down. Oops. I will go and do all the upside down staircases, because those things are going to take a while. That's the problem with working with stairs and half slabs though. They can take a lot of time to place correctly. So just like that. Remember, we're going to have staircases around the outside as well, so. And then what we are going to do after that is add another 4. So we have a 3 tall pillar there. So I'll go and do that to the rest of this, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. And for the last time this episode, we are back, guys. We have actually finished. I decided to go ahead and finish it up because there was only the roof left to do. I threw down these upside down staircases, put the fences on top, then the 3 high pillars again, 1 block of log which points inwards towards the centre, and then just a leaf roofing with a hole in the middle, a skylight we'll call it. Logs around the edge, those are signs just stacked against each other, facing that way to get a sort of trellis effect. Is trellis the word that I'm looking for? I think we'll go with trellis anyway. I'm probably gonna clear all that out and then bone meal up in certain places just to make it have a bit of a more fieldy, natural, grassy look. So yeah, I'm kind of happy with how this build turned out. Missing spruce at the moment, and I might bring the roof around 1 block more because it looks a little bit flat there. I'm 90% sure I'll do that, but I'm really low on materials. That used up so much wood. Cannot believe I went over probably about 200 bone meal and we're still struggling for wood by the end of it, so. But still, we have plenty of chances to get wood now that we have the skelly grinder. I think in terms of next episode, I'm going to do some branch mining, and if I hit a cave, we'll do some caving. If not, I'll grab some redstone. I've got plenty of gold. We'll make some pistons, see if I can hunt down some slimes in that biome, and we will get the materials for at least an automatic wheat farm, because this thing over here ain't going to cut it. I should also mention that a zombie dropped a potato, I found some pumpkins, and this dropped off a skeleton. I mean, I can't think that I'm going to have much use for it because there is no real lakes here, but it might come in handy. Can't say I've ever used that before. Oh yeah, next episode as well, we'll try and look at getting some enchanting stuff because I've hit level 30. I guess, you know, it all boils down to what happens when I start branch mining. So yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something through my rambling. I'm probably not going to try and do tutorials again for a while. If I do, I'll do them scripted, so I'm not lost for words like I was this time around. But yeah, there's our build. I hope you join me next episode, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Until then, take care.